Hey warrior, or whatever name you've carried until now. Names don't matter here. What matters is the fire burning behind your ribs. What matters is the part of you that's tired of explaining, tired of apologizing, tired of shrinking, tired of waiting for life to change. What matters is that you're here because something inside you is done with half living. Listen closely now. This is not a speech meant to hype you for a moment. This is a message meant to reshape you forever. There's a battle going on in the world, and even more fiercely, a battle going on inside you. The battle between noise and purpose, between reaction and discipline, between the person who talks and the person who acts. And today, warrior, you will make a choice. Not with your words, with your soul. There are two kinds of people in this world. You've met both. Maybe you've been both. The first kind is loud. They defend everything, explain everything, justify everything. They chase validation like it's oxygen. They argue every insult, react to every opinion. They burn energy trying to prove something instead of becoming something. They are slaves to their emotions, hostages to their own ego. They let the world reach into their chest and push their buttons like they're nothing but machinery. And then there is the second kind. Rare, quiet, but unmistakably powerful. The ones who focus on action, on discipline, on building themselves. They don't waste breath trying to convince or impress. They let their life speak. They let their progress whisper. They let their integrity thunder. These are the warriors, the Stoics, the people who choose self-mastery over self-indulgence. The people who understand that the most powerful voice a human being has is silence combined with relentless action. Today, warrior, you step into that second group. Let me tell you a story. A story about a man named Orion, a man no different from you, except for the storm he was about to walk through. One ordinary morning, Orion's life was shattered, the kind of shattering that doesn't ask permission. The kind that doesn't knock, the kind that tears the ground from beneath your feet and drops you into a darkness you didn't know existed. A phone call, a job lost, a relationship ended, a future erased. Pick whatever catastrophe you need to imagine, because the details don't matter. Life has infinite ways to break a person. It only needs one. Orion's breaking came in the form of a company collapse. Overnight, everything he'd built for 8 years evaporated. His savings, his plans, his identity, gone. And with that loss came a tidal wave of opinions. You should have done this. You should have seen it coming. You should explain what happened. You should defend yourself. And like most people, Orion felt the pull, the urge to explain, to justify, to argue, to defend his worth to a world that never cared to understand him in the first place. But something inside him cracked open. Not the weak part, the ancient part, the warrior part. He remembered something his grandfather told him once. A simple idea rooted in Stoic wisdoms. The storm is not your enemy. The storm reveals you to yourself. And so Orion did something unexpected. Something revolutionary in a noisy world. He chose silence. He chose stillness. He chose to stop explaining, even to himself. He asked, what do I actually control right now? Only himself. Only his responses. Only his next action. So he committed to a simple rule. I will only act on what strengthens me. I will not waste energy defending what fate has taken away. And with that vow, his life began to change. The first day was brutal. The mind is loud when the world goes quiet. Thoughts attacked him like wolves. You failed. You're nothing without your work. How will people see you now? You need to explain yourself. But Stoicism teaches us something powerful. Just because a thought appears does not mean it deserves belief. So Orion sat down, breathing through the sting of uncertainty, and asked himself the one question every disciplined person must master: is this within my control? The answer was almost always no, and every time the answer was no, he let the thought pass like a cloud drifting across a patient sky. This was the birth of his new discipline, not controlling life, but controlling the only thing that ever mattered: himself. Then came the second test, the emotional one. The people around him grew restless with his silence. Why aren't you explaining? Why aren't you defending yourself? Why are you so calm? Because calmness is intimidating to the chaotic. Because silence threatens the insecure. Because people who react to everything cannot understand those who choose to react to nothing. Orion stayed steady. He wasn't cold, just focused. He put his energy into action: early mornings, clearer priorities, daily discipline, small wins stacked like bricks. He stopped chasing everything except his own growth. And slowly, the world stopped questioning him. They started observing him, respecting him, even admiring him. That's the power of a person who doesn't need external validation. The world eventually gives it to them anyway. One night, weeks into his rebuilding, Orion walked outside under a cold sky. He felt the weight of everything he'd survived. He whispered to himself, "I couldn't control what happened, but I can control what I become because of it." And in that moment, he understood the true meaning of Stoic virtue: wisdom to see what is and what isn't in your control, courage to face reality without fear, temperance to act without excess, justice to remain honorable, even when life feels unfair. He thanked life, not for the pain, but for the clarity the pain delivered. Gratitude in adversity, that's where warriors are forged. Warrior, listen to this carefully. You're going through something, too. Maybe it's loud, maybe it's quiet, maybe it's been eating at you for days, or months, or years. Maybe you've been explaining yourself your whole life, trying to justify your dreams, your decisions, your failures, your scars, trying to please people who wouldn't bleed a drop for you. No more. There comes a moment when the soul says, "I will no longer be mastered by emotion. I will no longer be mastered by opinions. I will no longer be mastered by fear." That moment is now. The Stoics believe that reaction is weakness, but response is power. That explanations are noise, but action is truth. That to master your mind is to master your life. So I'm going to tell you the same thing I'd tell someone I cared about deeply. Stop explaining yourself. Stop defending yourself. Stop seeking permission to become who you know you are. Build yourself quietly. Move with intention. Let your consistency terrify the version of you that once relied on excuses. Let your discipline become your identity. Let your silence become your armor. Let your results become your voice. Because a warrior does not rise by telling the world who they are. A warrior rises by becoming it. Orion rebuilt his life, not instantly, not perfectly, but intentionally. Every setback became a lesson. Every morning became a vow. Every small act of discipline became a brick in the fortress of his character. And eventually, something incredible happened. The adversity that once threatened to destroy him became the force that strengthened him beyond recognition. His life didn't just improve, he improved. And when he looked back months later, he realized something profound. The adversity wasn't the enemy. His old habits were. His old insecurities were. His old reactions were. The storm didn't break him. It broke everything that was weak within him. Warrior, this is your turning point. Your initiation. Your awakening. You don't need to roar to prove your power. You don't need to defend your journey. You don't need applause to validate your effort. Your discipline is your proof. Your evolution is your argument. Your peace is your victory. So walk forward with the calm of someone who knows their worth is not determined by opinions, but by actions. Let others talk, let others question, let others misunderstand. You're too busy becoming, too busy sharpening, too busy rising. And when people ask, why aren't you explaining? Why aren't you defending? Why aren't you reacting? Just smile, because warriors don't explain, warriors don't react, warriors don't chase noise. Warriors act, warriors build, warriors become. Your life is your message. Your actions are your language. Your inner peace is your power. Now stand up, warrior, take a breath, and begin the next chapter of your life with a Stoic truth carved into your heart. Do not explain. Do not defend. Just become. Your destiny is waiting. Go meet it with calmness, discipline, and unbreakable purpose. Now go, be the one whose actions speak. But the story doesn't end there, warrior. Not with Orion, and not with you. Because every transformation, real transformation, has two chapters. The first is when you rise. The second is when life tests if you're worthy of staying risen. And Orion's test came swiftly, as all tests do. A few months into his rebuilding, he received another call, this time from someone he once considered a friend. The tone wasn't supportive, wasn't curious, wasn't kind. It was coated with condescension, the type that hides behind fake concern. "I heard you're trying again," the voice said. "Are you sure this is a good idea? After what happened last time?" Before Stoicism changed him, those words would have cut him open. His ego would have panicked. His insecurity would have flared. He would have felt the desperate urge to say, "I've improved. I'm doing better. Here's my plan. Please understand me." But now he saw the truth. People only question your path when they're afraid of your destination. So he didn't justify himself. He didn't explain the work he'd been doing. He didn't defend his vision. He simply said, "I appreciate the concern," and ended the call. And when he hung up, he realized something life-changing. The moment you stop defending your choices, you start owning them. That evening, Orion sat alone in his small apartment, not defeated, not shaken, but aware. Aware of how much he'd grown, aware of how much he still needed to grow. He lit a single candle. He sat cross-legged on the floor. He breathed slowly with intention, not meditating to escape life, but meditating to face it. The Stoics practiced this nightly ritual self-examination. Not guilt, not shame, just awareness. What did I fear today? What did I avoid today? What did I handle with strength? What reacted in me that still needs taming? Orion asked himself these questions with honesty. No judgment, no excuses, just clarity. And as the candle flickered, he realized something he'd never understood before. Growth doesn't come from the days you feel strong. Growth comes from the days you feel weak. But choose strength anyway. The next test came from life itself. Orion applied for a partnership opportunity. Something big, something that could accelerate everything he was building. He prepared meticulously. He studied the market. He refined his skills. He made sure he was ready. And still, he was rejected. Not because he lacked skill, but because sometimes the universe withholds what you want to prepare you for what you deserve. The old Orion would have spiraled. Why didn't they choose me? What did I do wrong? What will people think? But the new Orion, he breathed deeply and accepted the truth. What you cannot control is not your responsibility. What is not your responsibility should not disturb your peace. Instead of sinking, he asked himself the most powerful Stoic question. How can this make me better? Not bitter, better. That question is the difference between those who crumble and those who rise. And so, Orion used the rejection as fuel. He tightened his routines, sharpened his skills, improved everything under his control. Morning cold showers to build resilience, daily reading to strengthen the mind, regular training to discipline the body. journaling to clarify the soul, silent walks to master the emotions. He wasn't building a career, he was building a character, and people noticed. People always notice, not instantly but inevitably, because results whisper at first, and then they roar. Months passed. His external life improved, slowly, steadily, quietly. But his internal life transformed completely. He no longer needed approval. He no longer reacted to provocation. He no longer feared outcomes because he trusted his preparation. He understood now that silence wasn't emptiness. It was power. That restraint wasn't weakness. It was mastery. That discipline wasn't suffering. It was freedom. And one night, long after midnight, he looked at himself in the mirror and realized, I didn't rebuild my life. I rebuilt myself. And that rebuilt life followed. But here's the part of the story that matters most to you, warrior. Everything Orion learned, you can learn. Everything he became, you can become. Everything he mastered is already inside you, waiting. Stoicism does not belong to ancient philosophers. It belongs to anyone who chooses self-mastery over self-sabotage. It belongs to anyone who chooses power over reaction. It belongs to anyone who decides, I am done explaining. I am done defending. I am done delaying my strength. Stoicism is not a philosophy of the past. It's the operating system for anyone who wants to dominate the challenges of the present. And now you will take the same path. So breathe now, not shallow, not rushed, but deep, controlled, and intentional. Feel your lungs expand. Feel your chest rise like a warrior preparing for battle. Feel the weight of everything you've survived and the strength it has forged. You are not fragile. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are becoming. And becoming takes time. Becoming takes pressure. Becoming takes silence. Silence to reflect. Silence to rebuild. Silence to rise. There is something inside you right now. A spark, a calling, a pulse of greatness that has been buried under noise for far too long. People's opinions, people's doubts, people's expectations, people's judgments, people's comparisons, all these voices, all this clutter, all this noise. It's time to strip it away, all of it, right now. Because the warrior you are meant to be cannot breathe under the weight of external validation. The warrior you are meant to be cannot grow while reacting to everything. The warrior you are meant to be cannot rise if you're explaining every step to people who aren't even walking beside you. You don't owe the world explanations. You owe the world your transformation. Imagine yourself now standing on a cliff at dawn. The sky is dark blue, that deep, ancient blue that feels like the universe is holding its breath. The wind is cold, sharp, honest. The air is quiet, except for your own steady breathing. Behind you is your past, every mistake, every regret, every fear, every doubt, every time you hesitated, every time you settled, every time you let the world silence your inner voice. Ahead of you is the unknown, unwritten, unpromised, unguaranteed, but wide open with potential. This is the moment all warriors eventually face, the moment where excuses die and identity is reborn. Orion faced it. Marcus Aurelius faced it. You face it now. And you step forward, not because you're fearless, but because you're done letting fear choose for you. That's Stoicism. Not suppressing fear, but acting through it. Not ignoring pain, but becoming stronger because of it. Not waiting for motivation, but moving with discipline. Warrior, hear this clearly. You do not need a perfect plan. You do not need permission. You do not need to wait until you feel ready. You only need one thing: a decision. A decision to build yourself instead of explaining yourself. A decision to act instead of react. A decision to choose discipline over comfort. A decision to turn your silence into strength. A decision to focus on what you control and release what you do not. Once that decision is made, everything changes. your posture, your mindset, your habits, your priorities, your energy, your future. This is how warriors are made, not in noise, not in validation, not in applause, but in silence and self-mastery. And you are ready. You're ready to stop trying to prove something. You're ready to stop explaining yourself to people who don't deserve the privilege of your vulnerability. You're ready to stop defending the past and start creating the future. You're ready to stop chasing validation and start chasing greatness. Greatness built from discipline. Greatness built from self-respect. Greatness built from inner peace. Greatness built from the unbreakable core that Stoicism carves into the human soul. So let this be the moment that shifts your fate. Let this be the moment where you rise above emotional chaos, where you stop giving energy to opinions, where you stop trying to be understood by people who cannot even understand themselves, where you stop waiting, where you stop doubting, where you stop shrinking, and where you start becoming the warrior your life demands. A warrior of discipline, a warrior of silence, a warrior of unshakable purpose. Because the world doesn't need more talkers. The world needs more warriors. And that warrior is you. Take this final message with you. You don't need to explain your fire. You don't need to justify your dreams. You don't need to apologize for your ambition. You don't need to defend who you're becoming. Your actions will do that for you. Your strength will do that for you. Your discipline will do that for you. Your evolution will do that for you. Let your life be your argument. Let your resilience be your evidence. Let your results be your roar. And with quiet, stoic certainty, step forward into the life waiting for you. Not with noise, not with excuses, not with explanations, but with the calm, steady presence of someone who knows, I am becoming unshakable. I am becoming unstoppable. I am becoming who I was always meant to be. Now go, warrior, become.